from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A liquor license for West Acres Cinema is in the works, and it's one step closer to happening. But you're going to have to wait a few months longer to have a beer with a movie in Fargo. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The city of Fargo is considering creating a new liquor license so movie theaters can offer you booze.
It was approved today by the Fargo Liquor Control Board. It moves on to city commissioners for discussion and approval. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop found out that this license is only good for one theater in town. Ashley?
This new liquor license would only apply for the West Acres Movie Theater, even though Century 10 is also owned by Marcus Theaters. Other theaters in town, like Century 10 or the Fargo Theater, for example, wouldn't meet the license standards because they are specifically designed for West Acres. We asked commissioners why they would exclude other theaters in town.
Right now, the Fargo Theater, because of the size, the way we wrote this specific one, they would not be eligible for this license. So, but I'm guessing that they're going to want to come in and say, hey, how about one for us?
Would you have to create a new license for them?
Yes.
Would it make sense just to make it so it fits all?
Yes, it would.
Why is that not being done?
Well, that's part of the discussion, and that's what we'll, I think more than likely when we talk about this at the city commission, you have to say, well, if this one business is that way, you can't have them have a competitive advantage over the other people in town. So I do think that will be one of the issues that comes up.
Commissioner Pepcorn says they are discussing reformatting the liquor license system since there are currently about 30 different types. Now, if passed, West Acres Cinema would have specific requirements that they would have to follow. The bar area has to be separate from the concession stands. First of all, people also need to purchase a movie ticket to get a drink. The theater would have to provide wristbands to those drinking and only one alcoholic drink per person at a time.
All right, thanks, Ashley. You have a chance to voice your opinion about the license at the next City Commission meeting, which is Monday at 5 o'clock at Fargo City Hall.
Well, another cool, cloudy day out there, and the wind could soon be adding to that combination. Let's talk to Hutch Johnson to see how strong those winds will be tonight. Hutch?
We are expecting gusts in some of our viewing area to exceed 60 miles per hour. At least there's a chance of that, even 50-mile-per-hour gusts in the valley. Rain continues across greater Minnesota. And snow developing in the central Dakotas. It's moving into western Stutsman County, where you see the dark blue colors up there. Medina points north into northwestern portions of Stutsman County seeing snow right now. There's the gusty winds where the ice bars are really close together. That's going to continue to press its way eastward into the evening. A wind warning for the western counties, including Jamestown, Valley City, Langdon, all the way up towards the Towner County area. Wind advisory for the Red River Valley. Did you see that winter weather advisory? Northwest Minnesota will see snow tonight. Here's a look at peak wind gusts already over 50 miles per hour for our western counties. We could see some flakes mixing in. That stuff in Stutsman County will be heading our way as we go through the late evening hours. Okay. I'll have hour-by-hour details. We're looking at some very windy conditions and for some white as well. So a taste of maybe enough to even shovel for some details in a few minutes.
Gosh. All right, thank you.
You bet.
Condescending, demoralizing, demeaning are just a few of the accusing words described by employees working under Stutsman County State's Attorney Frederick Fremgen. Now, Fremgen's accused of harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood's here to bring us more information on this investigation. Christine, what can you tell us?
Stephanie, the incident report is 14 pages long and filled with claims from employees working under Fremgen, better known as Fritz. In this report, 5 female victims came forward against Fremgen, a report filled with claims of sexism, sexual harassment, and treating staff like children. One employee claims that she wet the bed at night after she dreamt about Fremgen yelling at her. Another employee says she broke out into hives and vomited after an episode with the attorney. Employees say they've tried to get outside help about this harassment, but say no one was willing to look into the claims because he's an elected official. One employee says Fremgen was a controlling man, saying, quote, "When you're new and submissive, you're his pet." Another shocking claim comes from an employee saying he would put her down about her weight, comment on her exercise and what to eat. More than one employee says working under Fremgen was like walking on eggshells. Here's what Casey Bradley, the auditor for the Stutsman County Sheriff's Office, has to say about what allegedly happened.
Yeah, it was pretty alarming to see what was all going on. I don't see this as a culture issue or anything like that with the county. We strive not to have these kinds of issues, and when they do, we try to be very proactive in addressing them quickly.
Fremgen has not commented on any of these allegations against him. I left a message with the state's attorney's office, but I have not heard back. Let me remind you that the Law Enforcement Center in Stutsman County houses the sheriff's office, police department, courthouse, and the state's attorney's office. Earlier this month, we reported on an investigation into claims of misuse of property, and now this harassment investigation. It's all under one roof. In the wake of Fremgen's alleged harassing, his office will be moved to the first floor of the Law Enforcement Center. Stephanie?
All right, Christine, thanks. Investigators concluded that there was no criminal activity conducted in this case. However, there are interactions on the Stutsman County personnel policy. Now, according to Auditor Bradley, the incident would normally prompt Fremgen's termination from his position, but because he's an elected official, it's not possible to fire him. So it's been suggested that he receive coaching by the Village Business Institute of Fargo, and now this case is considered closed.
A family of 6 is homeless tonight after their Glendon house went up in smoke and flames. Only one person was home when the fire started late this morning. She says it began in the bathroom. The family's dog, Marley, was trapped in the bedroom for a half hour. Crews were able to rescue the dog. He's doing okay. Investigators say they don't know how the fire started. And fire crews in West Fargo had to knock down a fire at the Brookwood mobile home that happened this morning. The man that lives there says he came home to find smoke while a woman was sleeping inside. Neighbors say they think a plumber may have put a lamp too close to the ceiling. Damage estimates there are somewhere around $15,000. No one was injured. Red Cross says in both fires today, the smoke alarms were not working. They want to remind you to check yours, saying over half of the home fire deaths are due in part to faulty smoke detectors.
Well, longer lines at the register are really concerns as the holiday shopping season is about to kick off officially in just a few weeks.
There's a new chip card that's taking longer than the previous magnetic strip system, and this could add insult to injury. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric has our story.
The magnetic strip is going the way of cash and check. Fewer of us are swiping nowadays.
During the holiday season, you'll see more and more merchants looking to see if you have a EMV chip.
Dan Fisher says you should already have one of these, a chip card. Instead of having all of your information on the little magnetic strip, it's stored in the microchip, meaning your money and your mind can rest easy.
But when it's been implemented in Europe and in Canada, that their card-present fraud rates, that means fraud on counterfeit cards, has dropped almost 60% in the first year.
While the safety concerns may be alleviated with the new technology, there's still worry over long wait times for the big box stores. As stores look to open earlier and earlier to grab those shoppers, the transaction processing time for the chip cards is longer.
And the reality is it's new. It's always going to take you a little bit longer to do something new. There's additional steps you have to remember. Some people will try to use the mag stripe when they have the chip, and so there'll be that particular incident.
But Fisher says it's a positive thing, and he says most stores already have it up and running.
You have the Best Buys, you have Office Depot, you have Target, you have Walmart, Macy's.
But you'll need to swipe the old-fashioned way at Kohl's and Gordman's in Fargo. It's not up and running just yet. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
Dan Fisher expects in the next few weeks for those remaining stores without the chip card system in use to properly train in their employees before the Black Friday rush.
Like it, love it, hate it? Well, Fighting Hawks is the University of North Dakota's new nickname. Officials released final voting results today. Here are the numbers. More than 27,000 people cast their vote. Fighting Hawks won with 15,670, about 57%. And Rough Riders got 11,708 votes, or 43%. For now, the interlocking ND logo, like this one on UND's High Performance Center, is going to be used in conjunction with the Fighting Hawks nickname. Marketing companies will be asked to submit proposals and budgets that may integrate the logo. A decision on the Fighting Hawks logo is expected next summer.
And President Kelly, do you think you spent way too much of your time here on this issue?
Yes. You know, Neil, I answered your original question by saying yes, and I meant that. This has been a very, very long road. It has taken a lot of attention, a lot of energy, a lot of money.
Now, officials estimate the total cost of the nickname voting process approached $300,000. The new Fighting Hawks nickname is already being used on UND's website, and its use will begin immediately for the broadcasts of UND sporting events.
You see them each weeknight on Valley News Live. In fact, you saw them tonight, bringing you the news of the day. You may not have realized, however, that two of Valley News Live's investigative reporters are an item. This morning, the secret got out as Bradford Eric proposed to Ashley Bishop live on North Dakota Today. Ashley, as you see, was introducing a story on the popularity of winter weddings. Instead, Bradford surprised her with that pre-recorded message. And after that, he walked into the studio, got down on one knee, and popped the question.
Oh my God.
This has been a long time coming.
Is this my Christmas present?
Yes, yes, no. Will you please do the honor of marrying me?
Yes. I'll let you put that on. I don't know how this works. I don't even know what a fiance is.
How nice. We refer to them as Brashley, Bradley and Ashley in the newsroom, and the nickname apparently originated from a radio program that the two did together in college.
Love is in the air, that's
so
for
they've
sure.
been around for a while.
They have been, and we're huge congratulations to them, guys. We're so happy.
Yeah.
Well, his debut on Valley News Live was a smash hit, and it led to appearances on the Today Show. And Ellen, later at 6, will bring you the fun details of this Weather Whiz Kids' next visit.
And we have a lot of W's in the forecast. Windy weather, and it does look like for some it will be wet and others white. Our Bauer details are next.